Welcome back to another late night edition of Inside Indiana Overtime. I'm Alex McCarthy, Jordan Gusky right there. We are at Assembly Hall. It's close to midnight after Indiana's 80-64 win over Nebraska. It was, for a while, it was pretty ugly, quite frankly, and as you were just saying a minute ago, it was kind of not necessarily dead in here, but it wasn't nearly as electric as it was a week ago against number 4 Iowa, which I guess is to be expected. But Indiana really struggled shooting the ball out of the gate, and then they went on a run before halftime. I think it was a 17-4 run. It was kind of the opposite of how they played leading into halftime against Michigan State, where they really let Michigan State just totally take momentum, which lasted the rest of the game. Indiana was able to grab momentum tonight before the half and then kind of gain control in the second half as well.
Right. I think the biggest thing that I kind of took away from the game was really one play. It was that Colin Hartman dunk down the baseline, and not because it was a big dunk. It got the crowd going, and Crean turns to his bench and starts laughing and smiling. But what it kind of meant for me is that before he even dunked it, he almost lost the ball off a pass, and then he went and then he got the big play, and it kind of seemed like that was the game. Like IU almost screws up, and then somehow Nebraska doesn't get the break, and then IU goes and they make them pay, and that's what this game was. IU had more turnovers than Nebraska, and Nebraska didn't really capitalize for a ton of points.
Right.
And against Indiana, if you're going to beat Indiana, that's what you do. You make it capitalize off the turnovers, and big play just overall from Troy Williams. He overcame that slow start on the 3 turnovers, finished with a team high, I think it's 18 points, and not nearly as many points as you joked about in the podcast last week.
Yeah, but
he definitely showed us that that Michigan State game was just bad Troy, and he's going to have some flashes of that, but he really is a player that can make a difference when he's playing the right way, being aggressive, but being aggressive in a smart way.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he was saying. He was talking with Tom Crean in the last couple of days between his scoreless Michigan State performance and tonight's 18-point performance, and was saying that they just kind of figured out that Troy needed to be more aggressive, but I think it went kind of unsaid that he needed to be smarter.
Right.
Like he needed to pick and choose where and when to be aggressive, because you look at his line tonight, he was 8 for 9 from the floor, 5 rebounds, 18 points, 3 assists. I mean, he did basically everything you can ask for from Troy. He, like you said, he ended up with 4 turnovers, but 3 of those were in the first 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah,
they were really early. So he played an excellent game after that, and it just seemed like everything was going in for him. It was totally the opposite performance from what we saw in East Lansing from Troy Williams, and it was key to Indiana's victory today. They had 3 other guys in double digits scoring-wise. Rob Johnson had 13. Juwan Morgan had a career-high 12 points, and I thought he played really, really well on both ends of the floor.
A lot of hustle plays out of him, especially that scrum that Crean talked about post-game to get a loose ball. That was when really Crean wanted to get the, as you said, kind of dead crowd going. And that's Indiana basketball.
Yeah, and that's what Morgan's been doing that quite a bit this year in terms of doing kind of the little things where he comes in and plays like 4 minutes of pretty good post defense and dives for a loose ball and maybe gets a steal or something like that. But tonight he was doing those kind of little things, but he was also operating really well offensively. Thomas Bryant only had 4 points, and Morgan was able to find some room down low and draw fouls. He was 5 for 6 from the foul line, I think, and also hit a 3, his second 3 of the year, which was kind of a big shot in terms of getting Indiana over a little bit of a Nebraska run in the second half. But yeah, I thought Williams and Morgan were the 2 kind of obvious guys tonight that really jump-started IU. Yogi Ferrell also had 11 points, but continued to not shoot the ball very well. He was 2 for 8 from the floor. He didn't hit a field goal until the first couple minutes of the second half. Didn't score until they were almost 18 minutes into the game. But once again, he was kind of able to, he led the team with 4 assists, just did a lot of the things that Indiana needed him to do to win. But they might need a little bit more out of him. They might need a little bit more out of everybody when Purdue comes to town on Saturday. That's another 8:30 tip. ESPN, I think.
Yeah.
And
or maybe CBS.
Yeah, I don't remember because it was
It doesn't
it's nationally televised. You'll
It's
find
on
it on
TV.
It's IU Purdue, obviously, but it's also very important because Indiana is now tied for the conference lead after Iowa lost to Penn State tonight. So
what's kind of weird about that is, you got the team tied for first place in the Big Ten, a pretty good basketball conference over the years, and they're not ranked, which is, I don't know, I just find that kind of weird. I was thinking about that as the game was winding down.
Wait, which?
The Indiana's tied for first in the Big Ten with Iowa. Iowa's really highly ranked. Indiana's not ranked at all.
Well, they are ranked in both polls. They got back into the polls this week. They got back into the polls this week.
They're not ranked very highly in the polls,
ranked.
If I'm going to amend my statement.
Yeah, I mean, Maryland and Iowa are both ranked in the top 10.
Oh, man.
Indiana is,
We just got that.
is ranked 22nd in the AP poll this week. Doesn't matter.
The point is, it's kind of weird.
It's bananas. Anyway, we're going to get out of here because it's tired and we're forgetting things. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.